Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today, nice to meet you. If this is your first time here, thank you for being here. My name is Jill. I teach online belly dance classes, and I like to teach them and talk about things from a perspective of health and wellness. This dance changed my life. It really helped me improve my mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health when I really allowed it into my life as a regular practice. So there are many exercises, physical exercises that benefit us. There are many tools that we have available to us to improve our health. And I was in my mid-20s when I started this dance, and it really changed things for me. It changed my relationship with my body, and it changed the way I saw the world. And I really believe that the reason that it did that is because of the nature of the dance, the nature of the exercise that it requires us to do, and the ways that that benefits our brain and our body. So a little bit more about me. I have a background in nursing. I was a registered nurse for many years, and before I was a nurse, I did a Bachelor of Science in neuroscience. I also have personal experience with depression and anxiety, so I have like an intellectual understanding of how depression works, and I also have a lived intuitive experience of how depression works. And my depression, full disclosure, welcome to my life. I lost my mother when I was very young. She passed away from cancer when I was 3 years old. And that really, you probably know that parenting in the early years, and especially the role of the mother, is very important in a child's life. I had lots of supportive family around me growing up, but nonetheless, something like that really impacts you. It really affects you. We all know this, nobody can replace your mother. We only get that one mother in the world, you know? So I really felt her absence in my childhood, and it really affected my brain chemistry. And that's part of, what I have to manage in my adult life. And I have learned ways to parent myself and to mother myself and to have a relationship with her. And that's kind of more on the spirituality side of things. Not what we're talking about today, but I do offer Reiki and tarot readings for those of you who are interested in connecting with advice from your guardian angels and those who seek to help you and have your best interests at heart. And that information is below. Anyways, back to our topic at hand. Where was I? So my first episode of major depression was when I was in my mid-teens. And then I went to a psychiatrist. I was on antidepressants for a few years. I went on to major in neuroscience. And I took many psychology courses as part of my Bachelor of Science in neuroscience. And I have always been, aside from, having this experience with depression, I just have always had this drive in me to have a very healthy life, to be very conscientious of what I put into my body and what I eat, maintaining a physically healthy lifestyle. I used to go to the gym because I was like, well, I have to, because it's good for my health, and I never really enjoyed it. So that's another reason why I was so happy when I took this dance into my life, because I was like, what a great way to do a workout and, kind of have fun at the same time. Now that I dance more regularly and on a professional level, you can't really get away from workouts. So I do yoga because that's a nice way to stretch out the muscles, and it's still enjoyable for me. I'm very much the type of person, I don't really enjoy cardio. I like low impact, muscle focused workouts. Who's with me? I had already been working on managing my depression for over a decade when I started belly dance. I had been on antidepressants. I had been to therapy for many years. I was doing all the things like getting enough sleep and eating well and, blah, blah, blah. Yet I still found that I was experiencing a decent amount of lack of control over my emotions and over my depression. And of course, a lot of that comes with maturity as well. But I also think pairing that with my experience of having grown up without my mother and sort of figuring out as an adult how to mother myself, what I saw when I took up this dance is that it sort of showed me where the missing piece was with femininity in terms of what I needed in my life and what I needed to round out my mental and emotional health. So I know that I'm not the only one, first of all, who grew up without their mother, but many of us, many people in the world grew up with emotionally absent mothers, or, mothers who just like couldn't be there for whatever reason, couldn't show up and be present. We all have trauma. This world is a crazy world, and there is a lot of change and improvement that we need to do. And I am here for people who are looking for control over what they can change within themselves. There are, bless them, lots of people out there who are activists. And I am an activist in my own way, in sort of like doing my part to make the world a better place. Little cliche there. But yeah, I am here to help people with that internal piece, the internal locus of control. What can I do about this crappy situation, So what I wanted to explain to you today is about how dance benefits our mental health more than other forms of exercise. So I was reading about this study that was done, and what they were explaining was they had like their two groups, and one group of adults did a certain amount of exercise over like 6 to 8 weeks or something, and another group of adults did they learned dance choreography instead of like traditional physical fitness. So of course, any amount of exercise is going to be good for you, and it's going to create like a baseline increase in your health, your circulation, and it is going to also have an improvement on your mental health because of all like the feel-good hormones that exercises releases. But why do I always say that like dance really helped me with my mental health? Well, now I can explain to you a little bit more about the neuroanatomy of why. There were lots of parts of the brain in this study that they found were had improved health compared to just doing physical exercise. So when I say improved health, I'm talking about neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means our brain's ability to respond to the environment and strengthen certain neural connections involved in like behaviors or understanding, actions, thought processes, things like that, like things that we would need in order to like live in this environment, right? We are an adaptive species. Nature adapts to the environment that it is in. So if you are constantly surrounded by stress and you need to, always have your stress hormones ready to go, then you consistently will release a lot of cortisol into your body. So I'm talking about systemic hormones right now, not neurotransmitters, but it's kind of the same idea. So that is how a lot of our health problems like obesity come about, because we are how we have consistently sustained levels of cortisol when we're actually supposed to go through stress, have our cortisol levels rise and then have them drop again, and so that we have a chance to go back to rest and digest. So anyways, in the brain, if you like, what parts of your brain do you want to develop? Do you want the parts that are like, oh my God, I'm strung out, I'm stressed out, I need to figure out this thing? Like, those are skills that we need, but is that how you want to be all the time? There is only a finite amount of energy available in our bodies. So what happens is when your body is constantly in survival and stress mode, other things suffer, so that's why like we have digestive metabolic problems when we are constantly in a state of stress, and that's because those things are kind of like second priority compared to like needing to have your blood sugar levels high so that you can run away from the predator type of thing. Our body doesn't know the difference between a predator and a deadline if we do not have that ability to control our stress. And femininity is a really good way to a really good skill set, a really good energy to access to help us manage our stress, because masculinity is excellent at output and getting things done and go and do the thing and make it happen. And that's great because we need that to happen. But then you also need that softness to come back to your baseline as well. We need balance. This world is all about balance. We need balance in order to live well. This world that we live in is extremely unbalanced, and that is also why I talk so much about how much we need femininity in our lives. So anyways, So basically, what I'm here to tell you, this nerdy thing that I think is so interesting, is that the part of your brain that is involved in mood regulation and emotional expression was it had an increased amount of tissue, which means that it like got better at doing those things, regulating your emotions and expressing yourself and regulating your mood in this group of people that learned dance choreography compared to just doing exercise. So that is a really great way to illustrate why something like dancing is so good for your mental health compared to just a regular exercise regime. So the reason why dancing and learning something like choreography compared to straight up exercise can create these sustained changes in our neuroanatomy, it's called neuroplasticity, is because it is like an environmental change, is because it is a combination of increased physical activity paired with sensory enrichment. What does sensory enrichment mean? What does sensory enrichment mean? It's your sensations, your eyes, your ears, touch, smell, sound. So sensory enrichment, an enriched environment paired with that physical activity, it really enhances the positive effects that physical activity can have, and then it enhances other parts of our brains as well. So sensory enrichment, nice music, right? That's what the dance is. Visualizing, seeing yourself in the mirror and being like, oh, I love this. I look so pretty. Enjoying the music that you are dancing to. You know, we always say that it's like we dance as dancers. We do a better job when we're dancing to music that we like. And that's probably why, because it's just easier to pull emotion out of you. So it's like that whole picture. That's why I always talk about mind, body, and spirit. These are things that I understand intuitively because I have this background in psychology and neuroscience. I have this underlying understanding of how our bodies work from my background in nursing, and then dancing just kind of like pulled it all together for me. So like, I'm not joking when I talk about holistic health here, you know, I'm just trying to do a better job now of breaking it down and explaining to people in bite-sized pieces why. So I hope that was interesting for you, a little tidbit, and let me know what you think. Please do like, share, and subscribe. If you want to try out one of my belly dance classes, the playlist with all of my videos is linked right there, and I upload a new beginner level tutorial almost every week. Go ahead and try them out. Thank you for being here. Nice to meet you. Have a wonderful day.